Good morning and warm welcome to you all. I am Vaibhav, your host for today. Our topic for today is brand building through public relations. It shall be taken by Miss Nilima Somashekar. She shall covering understanding public relation, leveraging public relation tools, followed by question and answer sessions. Let's quickly go through the agenda. Virtual inauguration by Dr. Sundar Kataria, invoking the blessing of deity, chanting of Gayatri Mantra, introduction of speaker, presentation by Ms. Nilima Somashekar, question and answer session, and last closing session. A brief introduction of Dr. Sundar Kataria. Sadgun Sangh, conceived and led by Dr. Sundar Kataria, driven with a mission to elevate the quality, safety, and environmental awareness levels of industry. Sadgun Sangh is a series of educative, informative events aiming to illuminate professionals on possible solutions to current issues of industry and economy. Let's know more about Dr. Sundar Kataria. Designation and organization, Chairman and Managing Director, International Certification Services Private Limited. His academic qualifications are Mechanical Engineer, AMIE, Honorary Doctorate, Business Management. His experiences are following: nuclear RAPP. He started his career in building India's first nuclear power plant at Rawalbhata, Kota, Rajasthan. Oil and gas, EIL. He contributed in developing India's first oil and gas field at Bombay High since its inception. DNV. He was head of industry and offshore development with DNV for 2 decades. ICS. He is founder of first Indian conformity assessment and inspection body known as International Certification Services Private Limited, which is a provider of total quality solutions under single umbrella with a wide spectrum of services. His achievements and awards are Lifetime Achievement Award of NES Corcon. He received several national and international awards. So now I request Dr. Kataria to virtually inaugurate the session.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Please join us for the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. Introduction of our today's keynote speaker, Ms. Nilima Somashekar. Designation and organization, media and public relations strategist, talk show host. Her academic qualification, graduate in public policy from Takshashila Institution, Bangalore, in the year December 2018, MBA, Public Relations from the Institute of Business and Management and Research, Bangalore, in the year 2006, Bachelor of Business Administration from Madras University in the year 2000. Her area of specialization and experience, specialist in public relations, media communication, and influencer management, and MBA in public relations specialization, invited by Indian Senior Chamber and Bangalore University to deliver a guest talk on public relations, recently curated an online talk show, Sambhashna, to present interesting conversation across diverse industries. Her awards and achievements: Best Mentor Award in the year 2016 and 17, Samman Award for Excellence in the year 2017. Please welcome Miss Nilima ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, Vaibhav. Thank you so much for this
Ma'am, please
introduction.
unmute yourself. Hello.
Yes, yes. Vaibhav, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Vaibhav, you're on. Yeah, you said something?
No, no, ma'am.
Can you hear me, Vaibhav?
Hello.
Yes, Vaibhav, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So can I go ahead? Can I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you see my screen now? Vaibhav, can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Vaibhav, for that introduction. A very warm welcome, everyone, to this session on brand building through PR. Thank you, International Certification, for having me. And I'm really delighted this morning to be here and share my knowledge on the brand building through public relation, and whatever I have gained over the years, I'm going to share with you. And but I just wanted to ask everyone: is everyone familiar with what is brand building and brand public relations? You can comment on the chat. And how many of them are students here or working professionals? Can I understand a little bit of what is your background? Okay, few people are working, all right. Is this a mix of both students and working professionals, if I may understand? All right, thank you so much for those messages on the chat. Okay, moving on. Just a little bit of introduction, even though Vaibhav did give, but I just wanted to tell that I've been in the industry for the last 19 plus years, and I'm a very passionate PR professional. And for being a PR professional, you need to have that dose of passion to put on your sleeves and go around. That's the important skill set according to me in PR. And recently I've curated a online talk show called Sambhashana, and where I present interesting stories from diverse background. And currently I'm running a series called Change Makers of India, where I present stories, and we have about 17 episodes there. If you are interested to know what are these stories, you can go and check them out. It's called Sambhashana by Nilima. And I also give talks like this, and also I write articles when there is an opportunity. Currently or recently, there are a couple of articles on women in PR which has been released. And to begin with, at the end of the session, what we are going to do here is we're going to understand what brand building is all about, understand a little bit of public relations, and what are the tools and techniques in public relations, leveraging public relations, and how brands communicate using public relations. So this is, at the end of the day, we're going to cover all these. Maybe in between, if you have any questions, you're always welcome to ask. Yeah. Before even building, going about what brand building is and what a brand is, brands are all about stories. You tell stories, and they resonate with you, and they stay with you for a very long time. Like, for example, when I was young, uh, there are a couple of stories which stayed with me for a very long time, which my grandmother has said, but they're very blurred. There's something about, a mother-in-law, a daughter-in-law, how they tried to kind of, kick her from the house. And then she came back. That story still resonates, even though it's very blurred. I can connect to the story. And another story about a sister and a brother, where how they feed families and everything. So these are the kind of stories, and be it in PR or in brand building, you have to continuously tell stories. It's all about that. So let's deep dive, understand what brand and brand building is. Here, anyone, can you even tell me what brand building is all about? What comes to your mind? A word, a phrase, or anything which comes to your mind when you say a brand? You can leave your comments. Great promotion. That's nice. Anything else which when we say brand in terms of a color, a brand name, a texture, or what comes to what visual or any visuals that come to your mind? Great, amazing logos, values. That's very nice. Popularity. That's great. Much for those comments. Because I believe in when you do these presentations virtually, it becomes a little difficult because I'm the only person and I can't see your faces. So this is the only way that I'm communicating. So keep this going on. Thank you. Yes. What? Yeah. Let me just give you what a brand is: a name, a symbol, or other markers that businesses use to distinguish their products from competitors and foster a public identity is a brand. By definition, there are many, many definitions when you look up, but this one thing what I relate to it, because your brand should have a name, it has to have a symbol, and it has to distinguish from the other competitors, and you have to identify it. It could be anything, but the core things are the name, symbol, and other kind of distinguished characters is something called the brand. Now, there is a personality called Meg Whitman. Meg Whitman, she is basically a politician serving as United States ambassador to Kenya. Prior to that, she was also an American business executive. something what she said is very interesting. If you add a verb before a brand, say for example, way back Skype was something where I am not very sure if anyone are familiar with it. You will know even before WhatsApp could come, or even before any of the social medias come. You know, we professionally used to have Skype, where we used to make long distance calls. This is Skype your family. Then recently Google. There's something called Google It. You know, when the word Google it, because you know you are kind of going on the internet, just searching. Look at the verb when they added, you know, with that. And also when you say Photoshop that picture, you know what I mean to say here, you add a verb. The power of a brand as a verb is tremendously powerful. There is something unique about it, and some believe it is the ultimate compliment and that benefits on being on the top of people's mind. And also it's all-time high when you add a verb to your brand name. And also the recall value is very high, you know, when you add a verb to your brand. Can you give me some of the examples where you can put a verb to the brand? Can you share some example? Anything which you can think where you have a verb in the brand? Yes, Xerox, amazing. Yes, absolutely. Anything else? I have a couple of them. I can also say Uber. You can take a Uber, or I can say I've just taken a Uber. Oh yeah. Yes, yes. Did I hear that as Daida or Dalda? Dalda is a brand. I'm like, okay, we use Dalda. All right, get that. Yes, Maggie. We all love it. It's our soul food. Can you just say what is JCB? I'm sorry, I do not resonate with this. JCB? Okay, how many guys are you on Tinder? You also say that, you know, many Tinder to find their date, right? That's another verb. Then, you know, with all you young people there, you said Instagram, your favorite picture. That's something kind of a brands that use these verbs to resonate it. And that's how, you know, the brand tactics are. Okay, I'm closing the chat now. Let's go to now. Another thing is, before we understand the brand and the brand building, there are some key pillars on which a brand is built. You have any guesses on what these key pillars might be? Yes, your target audience is part of it. Now we've understood what a brand, how do you resonate a brand with a verb, and now the key pillars are, you need to identify what your brand is by establishing your brand. Brand identity is more important. As the definition says, your brand has to be unique, distinct to create your identity. Identity is through your name, logo, and colors. And look of the feel of the brand is also very, very important. And set it apart from your competitors. This is one of the way which you identify your any particular brand. Like for example, when you go to window shopping, you know, because I do a lot of shopping for my brothers and my husband, the first thing is they go for, let's go for Alan Soria, let's do something else. And like for example, they for them, for especially for the other, most of us, we go by the brand because it's a name. It's got some kind of connection with the brand. So that's when the identity with the name, with the colors, you have to identify it. And lastly, it has to be very different and unique from your competitors. Any other aspects here which you can identify other than these characters what I've mentioned here? Oh yeah, assurance is also just part of it, but that comes. I would want to put the assurance in the trust building factor, which we will, eventually see in, yeah, product as well. I'm toggling between my screen and the chat, so pardon me if I do not see. Oh, values also definitely yes. It's big part of it. Yeah. Okay, just for your understanding and references, I have put on some logos here. These are the brands. Look at how they've used the colors, how they've used the font, the names, the design. Like Microsoft has these four colors just there. Look at the Adidas, there's always growth. So a lot of people create it, and this is a kind. Any thoughts here before we move on to the next pillar? Another key pillar here, as we saw in the chat section, that trust and credibility. We all have seen how Apple have marketed their product in spite of a very premium price for their product. The sales are always high, and still customers go back to them. And also another brand, sorry about it. Yeah. So without the credibility and the trust, consumers are less likely to engage with a brand. Another aspect when I talk about Apple, did you guys see the Mother Nature ad which they spoke about what they committed in 2020 and back they are about climate change? Did any of you guys watch that ad? In this ad, what they've done is it's an example on how they reinforce their trust with the Mother Nature by keeping up their 2020 promises, as I told you, bringing down its entire carbon footprint by on the net zero by 2020 30. It's aligned with the SDG goals. And also, if there is no trust and credibility factor, your customers will not engage with you. So I would like to play this video of this ad. If may allow to be, can I shift my screen and then play this ad?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Can you see the screen now? Bible?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I play it?
No, no. That video screen will not, ma'am, able to see, ma'am.
You can't see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can see the video playing, right?
No, no, ma'am. I just say brand building through public relation. That one first slide, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, all right. Wait a minute. I'll stop share and I'll reshare another screen. Yeah. Now you
Yeah,
can?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Able to see, ma'am.
It's a lengthier video, but a very strong message. Please do see. If you haven't seen, no, please have. Guys, I've asked Vaibhav to play this video. Just hold on. Allow me some time. Vaibhav will play the video for you people. Are you all people from Bangalore? Because I'm from Bangalore. Where are you guys from? Which place are you guys from? Let's get to know each other till the video plays. Oh, Mumbai. Okay. Have you guys seen this Mother Nature ad of Apple? It's kind of a lot of people were started talking about this ad, and I thought it's important we see this ad. Okay, moving on. The next pillar, I'll come back to this ad. The next pillar is we're talking about emotional connect. With this ad, why is Apple time again coming back and top of the game? They always do that because they go back and connect with their customers time and again. Right. So, next pillar, what we're talking about is taking the cue from Apple's ad. A brand should be able to communicate and connect with their customers, on a time and again basis. This is very interesting because they're talking about the large problem which the entire planet is facing, talking about the carbon footprints. That's the message they would want to. And they also said what is that they're going to do in the future by 20. So the plans are already there. They're even going to communicate again and again. Coming back to this emotional connect, I just wanted to even bring another brand there. Coke. Coke is another brand where you resemble it to a happy emotion. And Nike is another one where you wear it, you feel like a leader, right? So, these are the brands where apart from their brand building, the look and the feel, there also has to be another pillar that is the emotional connection. Now, how many of them, wherein if you go back to another school uniform brand way back, if you ask your parents or your grandparents, then they will tell you Bata. Bata was something that we only had when, for our school shoes or socks, we go to Bata. And another brand which we write, Reynolds, we use the Reynolds pen or be it the Natraj. That's another brand which is emotionally we connect to it. I think if you go back now also the pencils are there because we moved away from schools. But if you go back to your grandparents or to your mothers, then they will tell you what this Bata was there in their life or the school uniform, which is a brand called Beneath. It's still there because we moved on. So that is something with the emotional connect. Now, coming back to another, the fourth pillar, whatever you're communicating, it has to be consistent for a long term. Brands keep in term the long term, crucial for a long term customer trust, and consistent in branding helps establish reality and predictability. Amul is another classic example. If you look at consistency, if you go back, they look at what is. Have you any guys seen the Amul ads? Are you mind blown by it? Because I get completely wondering how is that they think on and on so creatively, keeping their mascot there, and they kind during Chandrayana, during anything which happens in the cricket, the national events, they keep going on and putting up these ads which are so cute, so catchy, right? I can't see the chat box. I don't know for some reason. All right, yeah. Apart from being consistency, you also have to be sustainability. When you establish your identity and having built your trust and credibility and the emotional comment, you have to keep the brand sustainable. Whatever key message that you are going on, it has to, continue. For example, even on the social media, they say that consistency is the top game. Even the algorithm says that, but now we are talking about a brand. Where social media is very different ball game altogether. But a brand that we discuss, Coke, Apple, are consistent and they are on top of our mind always. Now, summarizing, because we have to do the PR part of it, we're going to summarize what a brand is all about. Brand building is required to create a positive and enduring image in the minds of consumers, leading to increased trust, loyalty, and business success. It's essential component for a long-term growth and sustainability for any business. Now, we're going to end with a classic example of a case study of a Dow, where they ran a campaign called Real Beauty. Dove's Real Beauty campaign, which was very compelling, how a brand can build trust, credibility by aligning its message with social values and promoting authenticity. The Dove Real Beauty campaign was launched in 2004. The goal was to challenge traditional beauty standards and celebrate the natural beauty of all women, regardless of their age, size, or appearance. It demonstrates the long term benefits of taking a stand on important issues and resonating with the consumers on a deeper level. You guys have seen, because these days they're doing ads with the skin and everything. Way back, they just wanted to discriminate and bring in, different beauty standards, and they launched this campaign. If you go look up, it's a beautiful ad they have made across women of across all colors come on the same line, and it's a beautiful message that they are passing. This particular brand, what they did was they kind of packaged the messaging, with a lot of research and data. They, the content part, what they put was, it was amazing, and they're very transparent with the product, and they showed a long-term commitment like what, like Apple did, with the ad that we saw. And what were the results? At the end of the day, you also have to see what you've achieved for the brand, right? You have the sales increased, the loyalty of the brand, because many people started, continuing with the product. And they were recognized, and they got a lot of awards are also there. And also, what was great impact was, there was a cultural impact in terms of the colors, because back in West, I think people were discriminated, for their colors, right? So if you are a black and white, there is a lot of, they solved that problem, and there was a huge impact there. Okay, now with regards to brand, we're moving on to the PR aspect of it. Is there any questions that you would like, to you have, or you would want to share anything? We're happy to discuss. Are there any questions in the chat box? Because I can't see the chat box. Vaibhav, are there any questions, or should we move on? Okay. Uh, Now, what is public relations? Public relations is I refer it most of the places as PR, but it actually PR stands for public relations. So please be, sorry if I do not say public relations and I kind of use PR. Public relations, to understand, is the practice of managing and nurturing communications and relations. Make a note of these words. Communication and relationships is part of PR. how you manage the communication is something in PR that we do. With whom do you manage these communications and relationships? It is between the organization and its various stakeholders, such as publics, customers, employees, investors, media, government, entities, or any part of the any part of the community. When you kind of communicate and you foster relationships, is in large is the public relation. And what is the definition of PR? Public relations is a set of techniques and strategies used to disseminate information about an individual or an organization to the public using different media platforms. Now, here, since we've seen the definition and understanding what PR and with the background of the brand, have you guys been a part of any PR campaign, or were you even did you guys know PR, or you heard about PR, or do you have a PR friend or a colleague? Just trying to understand how many people have familiarity with PR. Okay, moving on, we will happen. What happens in PR? What exactly happens when you kind of use PR? With PR, the perceptions of a brand are shaped. A public perceptions of a brand is shared, and you kind of build positive relations. And as I already told you, there are some interesting stories that you have to tell there out. Like, for example, we saw Dove, we saw apples. These are the kind of stories that you have to go there out and tell people for you to be there on top of the mind of people. And who are these PR professionals who kind of tell stories? These are PR professionals who work on brand building to maintain a positive image and reputation for clients. They strategically, they kind of do a lot of planning, to go put out. Like, for example, if, the Dove, to put out an ad, to put out the campaign, I'm sure they would have done a lot of strategic ideation, planning to disseminate that campaign. And also, you need to engage in activities that promote goodwill and understanding. And also, it is the PR professionals who manage crisis when crisis arise for the brand. And there are connecting points between media and the organization. This is in a whole that a PR professional do. Now, coming back to what are the tools that a PR professional actually uses to communicate story or go out and talk to people and about the brand. One is, before even going to the tools, I would just want to say, for a brand, there might be many aspects to communicate a story. You can do it through marketing, you can do it in social media, you can do it many aspects. But why only PR tool? I have another slide to explain why PR tools. But now, since this is brand building through PR, and we are discussing about PR, we will look at what is a PR tool. One is you have the press release. Another aspect is an interview format through which you kind of give key messages and you write articles, or you do visibility, reputation, engagement, and to improve the communication of the brand. Any questions so far? Before I kind of go into what these tools are in detail and show you some examples, is there anything? Okay. This is just a format of what a press release looks like. It has to be on the letterhead of an organization with the logo. You kind of put a date, you can all the W's, where, when, how should be mentioned. This is the format just for understanding. This is how in whole, where you write, you give details about what, if it's a product launch or if there is a celebrity tie-up or whatever it is, or you're passing on some kind of development in your organization. You kind of write a press release and give it to the media. This is about the template. Another angle is an interview format where
नाही मग त्याच्यापासून ना मी पैसे देते आता तुम्हाला किती पैसे खर्च केले असेल ना त्यांनी तेवढे पैसे साडी भगवानला कपडे केले असेल ना घे बाई तू भगवानला बोलव ना खाऊ पिऊ घातलं नाही हे 4,000 रुपये आणि काही कोणा जाऊ बडबड करू नको असं बोला तुम्ही डायरेक्ट त्यांना आम्हाला करा ते तेव्हा आम्हाला समजेल आपली बायको किती बोलते सगळ्यांना.
Yeah, thank you. So this is another format, interview format that is a PR tool, and this is, see, in interviews also there are different formats. You can do an email, you can do a radio interview, you can do a TV interview, you can do an interview in a newspaper or in a magazine. I would want you people to take some time and see this interview, but this interview is very relevant to the brand building. I kind of put it here so that to understand how an interview format will be, you can read this out. Take some time and read this out and see how he's explaining on what a strong brand building does. Yeah. So moving on, this is how another article looks like. People come and they kind of like, this article is saying providing guidance and support through online learning. It can be educational. It's basically when you put out an article, the thought leadership enhances the spokesperson of the brand, or you can or for the organization. These articles are very important. As I told you back, a brand sustainable. This is one of the way in PR that we keep it sustainable by doing an interview or going back and giving a press release, or you give an article. This is a format of a press conference where you invite media and you give out a key message. From any brand point of view, it's important to hold a press conference for any product launches. And the journalist will go back and report the news. So again, your brand is again in the top of on the line when you read this news in the newspapers. It's not only for brand announcement, the press conferences are done. They also do for brand collaborations, and or when an MNC wants to give out their quarterly numbers. And it's another important thing to keep in the mind is the key message when you call the journalist for a press conference. And that key message has to be very, very impactful. Now we've saw the brands, we saw how to keep it, the different pillars, and then we understood a little bit of what the PR tools is. Another thing is, where will you go and use these PR tools? You have a brand, you have a PR person who's ready to tell the story of the brand. Where would you go and speak about it? You have to understand the media landscape so that these medias will carry your brand. So just for your understanding, I have put across some traditional media. Before pandemic, we used to rely a lot on these traditional media, be it televisions, newspapers, magazines, radio, and internet. And for a PR person, these particular tools and this media is very, very important. Then we have the new age media. The traditional medias going back are very authentic. I'll come back to a slide where I'm even talking about why PR tools and why you build a brand through PR. Okay, now we are talking about the new age media. New age media is something where the younger generation is living completely on this new age media where everything is on the go. You can access it online, and it's become most popular and it's trending in the last few days in terms of be it your Instagram or Twitter, and also it's accessible on any digital device. You can just have your phone and then you can just go there and you have the media or any kind of news related on your phone, because most of these social media platforms are also acting like a news media. And also just wanted to bring another point here is any article which or any kind of news which is published in the traditional media, which is considered and believed as true. And the trust factor is very high when a news article is published. Comparatively to an advertisement, the PR is considered as more credible because in advertisement, you can buy a space and you can publish whatever you want, but wherein when you want to publish a news article, it's very, very difficult unless and until you have a good story, you convince the journalist to write something about you. It's very difficult, and that is the reason the credibility and the trust factor coming, when you're reading a news article is higher comparatively to an advertisement. And another aspect is when the advertisement budgets are always very high comparatively to your PR budgets. Now, these are the different new age medias, like already said, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or any other formats that you take. These are all considered the new age media. And obviously from where it has evolved drastically, and pandemic a little bit of worsened it, because most of as businesses shut down, even the news publications are also had to work in a very in a very thin line they had to work. For any brand campaign to be successful, you need to have a mix of media. You have to have the new age media and the television. There should be a mix of everything, and that's a kind of a strategy that when you are trying to position a brand, that you do this to get a mix of all this and achieve what you want to achieve in terms for your brand. Now, as I told you, the bigger question is why you need to use a PR tool. Sometime back I told, right? Why a brand can use, marketing strategy or a social media or digital media strategy to tell their stories or to establish your identity or build perception, build trust, credibility, or to be consistent. As I already told you, all this comes at a very higher cost for the company. In fact, the advertising budgets are freezed once in a year, okay, and because they can't keep in between releasing, and they're always the budgeting for your ads are all very, very high. And with PR, it's very, very cost effective. You don't pay for a news unless and until it's a fake news or something else. You pay for it, okay? But in PR, your PR strategies comes comparatively, to an advertising. It is very, very low. Is what is generally people, that's how we function. And why we are doing it is because we develop brand identity, we build consumer interest, we grow consumer trust, drive greater valuation, and also even investors, when they read anything about your brand in the publication, they come back to you and there are possibilities where they invest. Also, PR is very authentic. That's the perception of being in PR. Okay, here one other important thing is I missed out to add what are the career prospects or what are the kind of job opportunities, what are the kind of courses which is available here before we move on to the discussion. Way back when I did my MBA in PR, or back in, because I'm a 70s kid, so we never had any kind of PR courses or whatever it is. But right now, there are many colleges which are offering these courses. And there are many job opportunities also. There are agencies that you can look for a job. You can join in as an intern if you're studying, taking your mass comm and journalism combination, or only corporate communication. There are courses that you can take. You can join in an agency to gain some experience. Can be passionate about many things, but PR, you have to always wear it on your sleeve, because unless and until you are not passionate in PR, you won't be able to, it might be a little difficult for you, because you will be the catalyst, you will be the center between the brand, between the media. So you have to have your passion on ground, and the success will be there, because I love my profession, and that's how it is. And also in PR, your written communication is very, very vital. You should be able to write a brand story, narrate a story, when you're sending it to the journalist. Right, that's another important aspect that you have to write. And you should be a little bit of a networking skills. You should kind of be able to go and meet people, especially journalists, because the brand that you're going and telling a story to the journalist, so you should have those kind of skills. Because if you say that I'm not a person, I can't go and talk, then maybe I don't know, you should develop these kind of skill sets. If you do not have, if you are in a PR profession, you should develop those skill sets. And also effectively speak well, because you are representing a brand. So that's in summary of what a brand is, what are the brand tools or PR tools, and how you can communicate effectively with the media to get your brand story out. And in the end, then we saw a little bit of I kind of did not have a slide, but I gave you an overview of what are the skill set and what are the kind of courses available. So that's where we kind of wrap up this session. And here we are, open to some discussion and questions if you have. Vaibhav, now can we have unmuted so people can talk and speak if they would want to? So I'll kind of
Yes, ma'am.
you
Yeah.
can yeah.
Ma'am, there is a question in the chat box from Shalini.
Yeah, how do we handle rebranding when the value is down? that's a very interesting question. Okay, another comment which I missed, because PR is less costly than advertising. Absolutely, I think we covered that. Okay, you know, when a brand, like for example, I'm just trying to recollect a brand page. Um, like for example, take Lifebuoy. Take Lifebuoy as a soap. Can you people can at one point of time they rebranded them. Look at the way they went back. Lifebuoy was a soap where it was only a soap. They went back and rebranded them, saying that it kills germs. Can you resonate with that, Shalini? Like, you know, think of that's exactly what you have to do. You have to innovate yourself, go back and, you know, tell something which, because it's, see, when you are in the market, when you are selling your brand, you have to be on the top, you have to be very innovative with what you're doing. I think that's the only brand that I'm just trying to um, is there any other examples? Because there are so many people. We had about 60, I think 50 people. Oh yeah, Nirma as well. Exactly, exactly. How they go back and then they kind of rebranded themselves. And look at the kind of stories that they have put across. I will never forget this. How Shafia is asking, Shifa, how can we maintain public relations? Can you just elaborate this question, please? When you say how do we maintain public relations, what do you mean?
I request all the delegates and participants, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask directly, or you can put in the chat box.
Okay, what if after PR we are still not getting that much response from the customer? Okay, now what you do is you go back and do a little bit of research. Why is that your brand is not catching the eyeballs? Okay, because PR is one way of looking at this is from the lens of PR. We do a lot of deep down research of why this is. There would be a lot of stories which are untold. Like for example, I'll not take out the take out. We are handling an automotive brand, okay, and there were very lot of stories that we can you know, go back and tell to the media. So the press releases, we kind of refurbish the press release, make it a new thing, and that's how you approach you know, approach any key message in a newer form. Or go back and get one interview done with your spokesperson, or do a small snippets on social media, release small videos on social media. So that's how you have to keep doing, because as I told you, it's a mix of, you know, different tools. It's a mix of everything. You have to keep doing it till you achieve it. Right, Shipa? Did I answer that question of yours? Yes. Yes. Bye bye. We are on time, or am I late?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. It is on time, ma'am.
Hmm. Because when I saw it 12:45, I thought I have to cover more on PR. I kind of made it a little fast track. I hope you guys enjoyed. Any feedback on was it good? What is like anything that you would want to share with me? Was it informative, or what anything that I missed out or I should have covered on that? Thank you. Shalini, thank you. Thank you, Vaibhav.
So I repeat, if anyone have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask directly, or you can put in the chat box.
Guys, I'm also there on LinkedIn with my same name, Nilima Somashekar, and you can find me on Instagram. And my talk show is already there on this one. If anyone wants to connect up for any future communication or want to ask any questions, I'm always there. I'm pretty active and very quick. Thank you, Amish. Oh, thank you, Shiva. That's very kind of you. I'll be so glad if you use it. Really, really will be happy.
I think, ma'am, there is no more questions, so can we move ahead, ma'am?
If you say up to you, Vaibhav, I'm okay. I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So requesting you, ma'am, to please stop sharing from your side, ma'am. So
Yeah. I think I stopped. Is my
yeah, ma'am,
Yeah.
now it's stopped.
Yes.
We are thrilled to celebrate our 150th successful episode on 14th October 2013. The timing will be 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. under the theme Digital World Helping MSME. This event will be held on a virtual platform. So ICS is pleased to provide you all its research and development, integrated management system, QMS, EMS, and OHSS, excellence in education management, ISO made is in Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, and Hindi. For reading any of the above books, please contact Ms. Shishma Kindalkar on the given number. Feedback forms are available. I request everyone to please register on www.sadgunsang.org and go in your login and give your valued feedback to us. So thank you, Nilima ma'am. Thank you all the delegates and participants who were joined for the today's session and make it successful. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now it's time to officially close the session. Thank you, everyone.